from high. It's a dig. It is out of here. 7:56. Bond stands alone.
17 seconds from game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead.
Washington outside left. Roethlisberger has time. Throws to the back of the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown by Holmes.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up.
It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Tap Room Sports Podcast. I am your host, Jordan Stacks on Stacks Lats. Joined with my man, Swerving Irving Washington, Mr. Big Ballin' Ben Larson. How we doing tonight, fellas?
Good, chilling. Just trying to stay warm.
Yeah,
It's
so
raining.
cold out there or what?
It's 50.
Oh my
My
god,
bad.
this guy already starting, dude.
It's 52 and it's raining. It's been raining all day.
Damn.
52, that's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but
Well, it is not raining in Vegas, but it is cold.
Yeah, we got it. We get it tomorrow, so
You guys getting
I'm
hit
pumped
hard.
for that.
Everybody out in the bay, stay safe tomorrow. Hearing it's going to be some crazy storms. Thinking of y'all. Stay safe, man. Stay safe. I guess we have to address the elephant in the room to start the show off, and that's Damar Hamlin's injury on Monday Night Football.
Yep.
Bill said today that he went into cardiac arrest.
Twice.
Was dead. He was dead. Twice.
Yep, once on the field, once in the hospital.
So there's a few things to unpack here. Obviously, first, we know this is a violent game. It's almost inhumane sometimes how violent this game is. And it's only going to get worse, to be honest, with how much bigger and faster and stronger these athletes are getting.
The crazy part is this wasn't a big hit.
No, it was just,
It was a routine play, a routine tackle.
a freak accident, hitting the right spot at the wrong
the
time.
collision. Yeah, the collision, and it was just I haven't personally seen anything like that on the football or in the NFL. In college, it happened once. The kid from Tulane, I can't remember his name. He was at the game yesterday, and he went into a cardiac arrest on the field too.
Yep.
But this has never happened in the NFL, and you would think like it would be off a helmet to helmet hit or something like that. But I guess the impact from the tackle with him and T. Higgins caused a chest contusion that led to a cardiac arrest.
Yeah. I've heard a couple things. It could have been a tear in the aorta. It could have been it could have been a couple things. The whiplash caused an adrenaline shot, which made the heart misbeat and go into chaos. It's crazy. We've seen this in hockey just a couple of years ago, with a player on the bench. And look at that. It's another high contact sport.
Yeah. I think first thing I wanted to talk about with this is, kind of how the NFL handled the situation. He was on the field for 9 minutes getting CPR. He gets escorted out, and then they say there's going to be a 5-minute warm-up before they resume play. That's when we see Zach Taylor go over to Sean McDermott. Shortly after, both teams head to the locker room. And then we come to find out that the NFLPA, the players contacted the NFLPA, who then contacted the NFL headquarters and basically said, hey, these guys aren't playing. They're not going back out there tonight. And, I mean, you could see it in the Bills players' faces right after. I mean, there was guys crying on the sideline. Josh Allen was just like, I mean, he looked like you just saw a ghost. You know what I mean? Like, there was no way these dudes were going to be able to play this game, right? So I wanted to ask, first of all, how do you guys think the NFL handled this situation?
Uh, as expected, like we all know, the NFL is all about a dollar and a cent. That's the way this game has been ran ever since the turn of the century. When Super Bowl commercials keep going up and up and up, this is a super what's the word? It's a super publicized game and for financial gain of the 32 owners and the commissioners, and the commissioner of the league. So they're all about revenue, media, their image, protecting the shield. But at like a time like that, like Booger McFarland said, it was bigger than a game of football. It was a life or death situation. So it's no way that game could have continued under any circumstances. And for the NFLPA to have to make the call and them not do it themselves just goes to show you that keep it a buck. The NFL don't give a fuck about these players.
Nah, they
The
don't.
owners don't. The 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 GMs, the coaches probably do, but the owners don't give a damn. All they see is dollar signs. Because at the end of the day, we know this is a violent game. The collisions lead to lots of health problems. The ultimate one being CTE, which has have led to numerous players' deaths and players to commit crimes and then kill themselves. And when they test their brains come back the
Super.
cognitive representative of a 72, 75-year-old, and they're in their mid to late 20s and 30s, sometimes they 40s, 50s. So we know what this game does to the human body. It's not normal, but these players stood up for the love of the game, for the love of the fans, and they put their bodies on the line for us to entertain us each and every Sunday. And sometimes even us as fans take it for granted because we don't expect nothing like that to ever happen.
Yep.
Like we seen hits, we seen helmet to helmet, we seen dudes get knocked out cold, but 2-3 minutes later they're up. We seen dudes get paralyzed off freak collisions and accidents, but we've never seen a person actually lose their life and have to get resuscitated on the NFL football field. And it's honestly, it probably will change the game. Like,
I completely agree with you on the whole, like, the NFL is going to be doing this for the dollar. But we just saw this happen in soccer, what, a year and a half ago with Christian Eriksen, where he was dead on the field and they had to resuscitate him. And the backlash that they saw, in trying to restart the game 30 minutes later, 45 minutes later, why isn't the NFL seeing this, taking the history into account and making these decisions?
Yeah, I think you guys are hit it on the head. Like, they just don't care about the players because, I mean, if I'm a Buffalo Bills player, there's no way I can go back out on that field without knowing that my teammate is alive. At that point, they didn't know if he was dead or alive.
exactly.
How do you go back out there not knowing that? You know what I mean? How are you going to play a football game
How
with
are
that
you
being on
not
your
going
mind?
to put all of everything into that game as well?
And on top of that, Dominique Foxworth hit the nail on the head too, because he used to be the president of NFLPA, and he even said in the meetings it gets so contentious and so downright just not just that you could feel the tension in the room because the players are labeled greedy because they want certain guarantees, lifetime health care. They shouldn't have to get paid for their surgeries in the off season if it's not the season. It's just these basic things that you would think that a league would take care of their players that makes them so much damn money,
They just don't
but
do it.
they get labeled greedy if they want certain they want certain things tied into the CBA. Like the NFL is going to get sued because we know the owners are colluding not to get these players guaranteed contracts.
Yep.
That's the reason why Lamar, after Deshaun Watson, how could Deshaun Watson get a guaranteed contract and Lamar Jackson doesn't?
Yeah, no, it's bad. It is. There's definitely a disconnect there, but the unfortunate thing is that there's such a wide gap of NFL players and their careers are so short that they just want to make that money as fast as they can. So they haven't really been able to rally around each other to
unionize and all that good stuff.
So we'll see what happens there. But as far as the Buffalo and Cincinnati game is concerned, the NFL comes out today and said it's still no makeup date. Basically, it's suspended.
Just
So
not this week. They haven't said that it's not going to happen. Just not this.
yeah,
week.
just not this week. But considering the playoffs are in a week, it's hard to imagine how this whole situation is going to play out. So before we came online, we were kind of like juggling, thoughts and ideas of how this was going to go down, and not to, I don't want to like put a damper on the moment and just say like, first and foremost, Damar Hamlin's life is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Right. But we're just trying to figure out what is going to happen here. Right. If you're the Buffalo Bills, do you play next week against New England? I mean, it still says to be determined on the time. Like, there's no time for that game yet.
Yeah, it's probably still gonna be fresh in their minds, but McDermott is a great leader. He has a great culture in that locker room. It'll probably give him some days to come back together, regroup, and try to continue building towards what their ultimate goal is, the Super Bowl. Because at least they know now that he is alive. He's still fighting. He's in critical condition, but they know that the doctors are doing their best to make sure that he's can be as healthy as can be after that cardiac arrest. Because the one thing that me and my admins for my USC group were talking about, that him being in such peak condition and physical shape, that helps him out too, because we seen what a cardiac arrest did to Mike Leach.
Yeah.
It completely took him out. So him being an athlete and being healthy, that probably goes a long way towards his recovery as well. So I think the Bills can refocus. It's still gonna be heavy on their hearts and in their mind, but I think they'll be able to refocus and play this weekend. If anything, the NFL could do them a favor and push their game back, probably do like a double header on a Monday, or
there's no Monday game this week.
Yeah. There's no Monday game this week. Well,
yeah, and their game is listed at 10 a.m.
Oh, see, that'll probably be good if the NFL could push their game back to a Monday. But more than likely, if it's at 10 a.m., I think they're going to go forward and play, because at the end of the day, that'll give some type of solace to know that they're back playing the game that they love, and they know that their brother is doing the doctors and him are probably doing their best to nurse him back to health. So,
yeah. Well, and I think that's something that they can rally behind too. Is let's win this for tomorrow. Like he's the one who's missing, but he's still a connection piece. He's still, someone that's needed to be on that field for the team, and he'll be there in spirit. Luckily, that spirit is still alive, but he'll be there in spirit helping them win that game. And I think that's the route that they have to take, is not to feel sorry for him and for the team because they're missing him, but to rally up and win it for him.
Yeah. We see a lot of different mixed outcomes when it comes to playing with a heavy heart. Like, Mississippi State just played on Monday, after Mike Leach passed away, and they looked like shit. I mean, I can't believe they won that game, to be honest. But, miraculously they did, thank God. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But ultimately, we really hope Damar Hamlin pulls through with this, and it's crazy, man. Just absolutely insane seeing that scene on Monday.
Yeah, like I said, it reminded me, I was too young to see it live, but it reminded me when Hank Gathers just collapsed.
Before all our times, Irvin. That was the 70s.
That wasn't the 70s, wasn't it the 90s?
Pretty sure that was the 70s.
No, Hank Gathers was in the 90s.
There was a dude that died of a heart attack in the NFL.
No, I'm talking about the basketball player.
Oh, yeah, and the Loyola Marymount player, yeah.
Yeah, for LMU.
Yeah. No, that was crazy too. And that dude wasn't even physical. That's the worst part. All right, well, let's try and get some positive energy in here. Let's talk about some games this week. So let's start it off with Saturday. We have a big game. This one is for the AFC South here. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to be hosting the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee comes into this game 7-9 straight up, 8-6-2 against the spread, 5-11 to the over.
before we go on, I mean, I do want to kind of go back to this game, the Buffalo and Cincinnati, because it does have such implications for the playoffs. Do we think this game ends up getting played? I mean, we talked a little bit about possibly pushing back the start of the playoffs.
I think it all depends on what happens with the KC Raiders game and the Bills Patriots game. If the Bills don't beat the Patriots, because remember, the Patriots have to win to get in.
Yeah.
So if the Patriots win that game and the Bills lose, then that Bills-Cincy game doesn't mean anything because Kansas City would hold the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
So I think
both teams win this week. They kind of have to.
That's when it gets
interesting.
Who
won when the Bills played the Chiefs?
The Bills beat the Chiefs, but right now the Chiefs are 12-3,
Chiefs are
13-3, and the Bills are 12-3. So if the Bills lost to Cincinnati, and KC wins on Saturday, then KC would be the number 1 seed. Now,
and that also puts the Bengals would be 12-4, and the Bills would be 12-4.
Yeah.
So
but the difference between the 2 and the 3 seed isn't that much.
Yeah,
because it's really that 1 and 2 and 3 seed that's the biggest difference. So I think what ultimately is going to happen is if KC beats the Raiders and the Bills beat the Patriots, then the NFL is gonna have to they're gonna have to figure out how to play that game because that's for the number 1 seed.
Yeah,
the Bills-Cincy game. They might have to push the playoffs back a week and just have the Super Bowl be a 1-week break. You know, Irv was saying that teams don't really like that.
Then they would have to do no Pro Bowl then, or do the Pro Bowl after the Super Bowl like they used to.
Nobody cares about the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, they can just cancel the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, but yeah, that might happen. We'll see. I think this weekend is going to determine how that game gets rescheduled.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to this weekend. So
that makes sense.
We're going to talk about New England, Buffalo in a little bit. But we're going to start off. No, it's all good. We're going to start off with Tennessee, Jacksonville. So Jacksonville's hosting Tennessee. Tennessee 7-9 straight up, 8-6-2 against the spread, 5-11 to the over. Jacksonville's 8-8 straight up, 8-7-1 against the spread, 8-8 to the over, and 4-2 at home. Tennessee, this game opened at 7. It's been bet down to 6, and the total's at 40. What do you guys think about this game?
Honestly, the Jags are pretty healthy, and Titans are missing their quarterback. So, and we've seen what Josh Dobbs and Malik Willis has been.
Josh Dobbs didn't look too bad.
He didn't look too bad, but
didn't look great.
Let me throw this little nugget out to you guys because I saw this on Twitter from a guy, Klefta, who's one of the best football handicappers I've ever interacted with. He said the Jags are playing on short rest 6 days compared to Tennessee, who's playing on extra rest 10 days. Only 11 other instances in his database since 2000 with one team having a 4-day rest disadvantage or worse occurring week 15 or on. Those teams are 3-7-1 against the spread. If one team has a short week like Jacksonville, they are 1-5 against the spread.
What's his name?
Klefta Analytics.
That's a hell of an analytics right there, buddy. I mean, 6.5 is a lot of points for two teams that both don't score a lot. So that I'm a little bit worrisome there. I like this under. Like I just kind of mentioned, both these teams don't score a lot. And it's going to be raining. So you're going to get a lot of ball drops. You're going to get a lot of, pushing the run a little bit more than, those long passes.
I think the beneficial thing when looking at this rest advantage is not only do the Titans get 10 days of rest, but they rested everybody last week. So now all those guys that were banged up, the Derrick Henrys of the world, like that whole team is coming in this game extra fresh.
It's true.
Which is,
they still don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, to be honest, Ryan Tannehill is not the greatest quarterback either. You know what I mean? And Joshua Dobbs in 8 days, he looked pretty decent against the Cowboys, who are the number 3 DVOA defense in the league. But like we spoke about on Sunday, they have had their issues.
Mm-hmm.
I just think a division matchup, right? 6.5 points, 6 points is too many.
Last time these two teams played on the 11th,
Jacksonville beat the shit out of them.
What's that?
Jacksonville beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
This team, the Titans, much more healthy coming into this game.
Yeah.
A lot of their guys are probable now, questionable, but they have gone through practice. They're getting DBs back. I mean, their offensive line is banged up, but it's been banged up all year. So that's whatever.
Yeah, we are going to get Dobbs. Dobbs is confirmed to start.
Yeah, Dobbs is playing this game, dude, because he can actually throw the ball. Malik Willis can't. He's tripping. But yeah. I just wanted to throw that out there because I think a lot of people, when they think about this game, they just see like Jacksonville's playing a lot better. That's for sure. That's without a doubt. But you have to keep in mind, dude, that rest advantage is huge in the NFL. That's a huge advantage in this situation. Yeah. The NFL did Jacksonville no favors by playing this game on Saturday.
Damn.
They only have 4 days.
I look at it like that, but I don't know. Jacksonville did beat the shit out of them last time, so rest could be a factor, but they don't have a adequate QB play because Trevor Lawrence been playing like a top 5 quarterback these last.
Trevor Lawrence has been playing great, dude. I will not disagree with that at all. And they're at home.
Got Bud Dupree and Zach Cunningham on IR. So their linebacker position.
But they've been on IR forever.
Listed on the 29th.
Bud Dupree, though, he hasn't played in weeks.
Sheesh.
So that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of their injuries, like they've been playing without these guys for so long, but a lot of guys are now coming back. Thompson's coming back. He's probable. He hasn't played in the last 2 games. Autry's coming back. He sat out last week. Basham's now questionable. Harris nursing a hamstring, remains to be seen, but he should be played. He's questionable. Derrick Henry, just another week of rest for that guy. Fulton, he'll be coming back. He's missed the last 4 games.
He's questionable.
Yeah, but he's gonna play.
Yeah, I don't see Henry listed as even questionable anymore.
So I mean, they're getting guys back, which is a good thing. This is a banged up team, and a lot of these guys in the secondary that are coming back this week weren't playing in that Jacksonville game.
Yeah,
when they got shredded in the secondary.
I just think 6.5 points is too much.
Yeah, I agree. In a division matchup,
I think it's going to be a low scoring game, which does not help a large spread like that.
Yeah, definitely goes. I think the one thing that does benefit Jacksonville is Trevor Lawrence is playing phenomenal.
Yep. I mean, their defense has played really. I mean, I know it was Houston and the Jets, but they only allowed 6 points in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and the game against the Jets, dude, you kind of got to put an asterisk next to that because it was a fucking monsoon.
Yeah.
It was a terrestrial downpour. Tennessee's defense is, I mean, they've been all right, but they haven't been very good against the pass all year. But they were better against Dak, and they had a lot of backups in. You know what I mean? But Dak has been
against the run.
Yeah, number 2 against the run. But ultimately, Jacksonville, you know, the way Trevor Lawrence has been playing, they can sling that rock. So be interesting this game. So Ben, you like the under?
I like the under here. It's a little low, but
so I think the under and Tennessee kind of go hand in hand. Like if you like the under, you're probably gonna lean Tennessee because, you know, if the game goes under 40, what's the chances it's like?
It's gonna be close. Yeah. I'm gonna give that plus 6.5.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, obviously, would love 7, but you know the hook's working the wrong way in our favor. But
Yep.
Mm.
What do you think, Irv?
I'll go on a limb here and say, give me the Jags minus the 6.5.
Nice.
I think the Jags will win.
I like Tennessee here. Ben, you like the under? I like the under too. I think the under is a solid bet.
I lean Tennessee plus 6.5, but I think Jags win.
Yeah, the Jags should win. I mean, they're the better team.
Yeah.
But we've seen crazier shit happen.
It's very true.
Which I'm gonna get to in this next game. Or not this next game, the game after. All right, we got the New England Patriots heading into Highmark Stadium to face the Buffalo Bills. New England comes in this game 8-8 straight up, 7-8-1 against the spread, and then 7-9 to the over, 4-4 on the road. Buffalo's 12-3 straight up, 7-7-1 against the spread, 5-10 to the over. Buffalo currently laying 8.5 points in this game. The total is at 42.5. What do you guys think about this one?
I don't know. We're going to see.
I'm seeing 7.5, which does change things a little bit.
Got the Bills coming in, but Hamlin going to be heavy on their hearts. Like Ben said, that could motivate them. They could rally around it and play super motivated, focused football. But then you got to factor in Bill Belichick is never easy to beat, home or away. But honestly, I think that game's going to come down to Mac Jones.
Yep.
Depends on how he plays. Is he gonna turn the ball over? Is he gonna look like the quarterback we saw versus the Vikings? It's a lot of ways he could play, in a lot of ways this game could go. It could be a complete blowout. Patriots could win a close one, or the Bills win a close one. Now, the first two are probably more likely that the Bills blow them out or win a close game, because as long as the Patriots have that deficiency at the QB position, it's going to be hard for them to beat teams like the Bills who have elite playmaking at that position.
Yeah, bro, I really just wonder, like, how the Bills' mindset is going to be in this game, you know? Like, are they going to get up for this game considering what is happening with DeMar Hamlin and kind of the uncertainty around his situation?
Are they going to be scared to take a hit?
I don't think
they're definitely going to miss him, though. He hasn't missed a snap all season. I think he was a second or third leading tackler as well.
Yeah. And they're already short at the safety position. Micah Hyde's out for the year.
Yeah. He stepped up and took over for Micah Hyde.
But I do agree, Irv, in the sense that, like, you know, Mac Jones is if he plays well, New England has a chance. But, I mean, the guy's just so fucking... He's just
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, he's so inconsistent, dude. You just never know what you're gonna get from him.
And I've never seen a quarterback that's that mid, so full of himself.
Yep.
But I get his frustration though. I'm getting coached by two dudes that ain't never been OCs in a career.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he's not anything. He hasn't accomplished much. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but but usually as a rookie, your second year you grow, and he looked a lot better his rookie year than he did this year, and that all goes back to coaching.
I think he has to take some responsibility too, because I mean he misses a lot of throws too.
But when, like Shannon Sharp said it perfect, it's a difference between calling plays to win a game and calling plays to be lose. Reactive, to just call plays. And he honestly thinks that Bill is in on the play calling too.
I mean, he could be, because I mean, obviously a defensive head coach is going to call plays to not lose a game more than he is to not win a game. You know what I mean? Like, look at the Broncos.
A young quarterback that's trying to develop, though. So basically, from all I see, it seems like Mac Jones is getting a raw deal here.
Yeah, but Bailey Zappi looked hella good.
That was just one game, though. And like Ben said, it was no
good for 2
film
starts.
on him. When he came out the next game, dude threw like 3 interceptions.
But he came in the middle of the game.
But he still threw 3 interceptions.
Yeah, because they were trailing by like 18 points and he had to fucking make some shit happen.
and he's never got a chance again. So that just goes to show that Bailey Zappi stuff might have been a one-hit wonder.
They also invested a first-round pick in Mac Jones. They're not just going to give up on him like that after a year.
Yeah.
Well, no, we've seen it with Wilson. He only been in the league a year and a half.
Sure, but if they, I
He
think
was a second overall pick.
Well, first of all, Mac Jones isn't as bad as Zach Wilson.
I'm just saying.
That's a total.
Bad is bad, right?
I agree, but I think that, I still think New England could try to trade him in the offseason, you know what I mean? And if you bench the guy, it's like, there's no way you could trade him. Zach Wilson has no trade value, zero trade value.
But even then, if you bench somebody, people still going to take a chance on him. The Eagles bench Carson Wentz and got a damn second-round pick after.
Dude, that's because Frank Reich was the coach and cost him his job ultimately.
That's in hindsight is 2020. I'm just saying. I just think Mac Jones. I don't think he's a great quarterback, but I definitely think he's above average quarterback that can win you games. Like, dude made the playoffs as a rookie. So
yeah, behind the second
I just think
best defense in the league.
Yeah, I get it, but I think New England should be doing a lot better.
I definitely agree with that.
I mean, to be honest, I like the Patriots in this game. Maybe not to win, but I like them with the points.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know how Buffalo's going to come out. Buffalo's a better team for sure, but I mean, New England's still third defense DVOA, and their deficiency is stopping the run, but the Bills don't really run the ball. So I know that last time these two teams played, Buffalo fucking smacked them, but Buffalo was also coming off a couple losses. They really needed the win.
Yeah. Well, Buffalo's actually running the ball more than the Patriots are.
Well, the Patriots haven't. Their offense is just terrible, dude.
Yeah, and Stevenson's been out as well. So
New England's offense is 26th DVOA. They're 24th in passing, 25th in rushing. So I mean, they're like, they're just not good.
They need an OC.
Yeah, they definitely do need an offensive coordinator. Buffalo's offense, second total DVOA, second in passing, 11th in rushing. But like I said, New England's defense, they're second against the pass. And Matthew Judon has been playing really well. So we'll see.
Probably go, because of the hook of that extra 0.5 there, I'd probably go with the plus 7.5. Just numbers wise, I think that's the smart play.
Plus, like, I wouldn't say like just because New England's in desperation mode, but I worry about Buffalo's
it could be
psyche.
That's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
And you don't know.
What do you like, Irv?
What's the over under?
42.5.
It's pretty low.
It's pretty low. Buffalo gives up points, so I like the over, honestly.
Buffalo's only averaging 17.5 points a game.
Yeah, but
allowed.
But they score like 20. What do they score a game? 24?
26.3.
I don't know. Defense looked a little shaky against Cincinnati that first drive.
Yeah, but I mean, that was a scripted drive. They were gonna adjust.
Let's see. New England 21.3 points for, 19.5 points against.
My boy Fleetwood Mac is gonna do his thing. I like the over.
Yeah, I like New England plus 7.5, and I kind of lean the over too. What's the weather like? I know it's gonna be cold there.
35 degrees and cloudy.
It's no wind.
None listed.
Yeah,
I mean, both of these guys are used to the cold, so
yeah, I like the over in New England plus the points. All right, let's move on to our next game. Another AFC East battle. Jets are eliminated from the playoffs. Miami can still make the playoffs with a win and a Patriots loss and a Steelers loss. Or they just need the Patriots to lose. Right?
Because didn't they beat the Steelers?
Yeah,
didn't they play the Steelers this year?
They beat the Steelers.
Yeah, then they would just need the Patriots to lose then.
Yeah, so they need the Patriots to lose and they need to win. So this game, currently Miami's laying 1 point at home against the Jets. The Jets are 7-9 straight up, 8-8 against the spread, 5-11 to the over, and 4-4 on the road. They're a better road team than they are at home. Miami's 8-8 straight up, 8-8 against the spread, 8-8 to the over, and they're 5-2 at home. The total is at 38.5 right now, fellas. What do you guys think?
Tua is out.
Yep.
I think Teddy Checkdown can get the job done, man. The Jets look cooked, bro. Mike White has looked worse and worse every start. They do have a good defense, but that defense can only be on the field so long before they get worn down. And
Is
start
Teddy
giving up
actually
points.
playing this game though?
He should be playing because I know he left. He left a
He left with a
Seahawks game with
finger
a,
injury last week.
Yeah. He had a knee injury or was it ankle injury?
Finger.
Finger. Oh, he should be out. Throwing hand or non-throwing hand?
Let me see. Dislocated right pinky finger in his throwing hand.
Damn.
Pinky too, dude. It's like throwing a ball like this.
That might help. You really need your
Not
thumb. You
like
really
this.
need your thumb and your index. You really need these 3 fingers, especially the thumb. But I don't know. You should be hyping up your boy Skylar Thompson. Let's if Teddy can go.
I mean, Skylar didn't look terrible last week, but I think a week of preparation is a little bit easier on a quarterback too. I think getting thrown into a situation is a little tough.
That's true.
But listen to this. So this one is also from Klefta. Teams that need to win their final 2 games versus teams that are out of the playoffs are 57-95 since 2000. That's 37% against the spread. So just because you need to win, does not mean that you will win.
They're not playing the Jets offense, though. I mean, they can't pass the ball. They can't run the ball.
Yeah, but Ben, the Jets have one of the best defenses in the league.
That's true, but you have to put up points to win a game, and they're not going to be putting up any points.
Well, I will say this. The Jets offense, whatever. Jets defense, very great.
Yeah, but is the Jets defense going to be getting put? Is the Jets defense going to be getting pick sixes and scooping scores?
Well, what I'm also going to say is that Miami's defense isn't very great. Miami's defense, 17th DVOA.
Yeah, but look at the Jets offense.
Yeah, who has the Jets offense?
They got to be 32nd in the league. I mean, Breece Hall has played 7 games and still has more rushing yards.
They're 25th overall, 25th passing, 21st rushing.
Yeah, that defense can't keep saving that offense, bro. And they couldn't do it last week either against a Seahawks team that's been playing terrible.
Well, I never understood why everyone was on the Jets last week, because traveling from the East to West Coast is not an easy – that's a tough matchup,
yeah,
dude.
That's neither here nor there. This is going to be an East Coast matchup.
Division matchup, and the Jets, and you could sit here and say the Jets aren't motivated, but the Jets have an opportunity to end the Dolphins season.
Yeah, we didn't say they're not motivated. We're just saying that offense can't produce enough points for them to beat anybody that can put points on the board.
Yeah, but how do we know what Miami's gonna produce?
Okay, but even if Miami defense is not that good, we've seen worse defenses shut this damn offense completely down.
No, what I'm saying is that last week they only scored 21 against the Patriots, right?
The Patriots one of the best defenses in the league, though.
Yeah, and the Jets are better.
Yeah, but the Patriots offense can score points. The Jets
only put 6 points up on Seattle defense.
Yeah, like
not great.
And Seattle defense ain't that much better than
they put 3
Miami.
Points up on Jacksonville the week before.
Kind of like the Jets here in this spot, dude. Miami's coming off 6 straight losses. I mean, they
5-2 at home. I mean, when the Jets are coming off at least 5.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like either. I think both these teams aren't that good, but I think Miami, like, they're riding so high, dude, and like they've just come to a fucking crashing halt, dude.
Well, injuries played a big part in that.
I mean, and you can say the same thing with the Jets. They have that 4-game win streak. And then just, what are they? 7-2 after that? Sorry, 2-7 after that?
Yeah. Both these teams, I think, are they could both use this win heading into the offseason.
Yeah, and Miami needs it to get into the playoffs, so I think they have that extra.
I just think Miami against good defenses hasn't been great all year. I know the Jets' offense isn't particularly well, but
And it's a pick 'em.
Even if Miami defense ain't been good all year, if the Jets score 6 points, they not beat nobody.
Oh, but they could win this game like 17-10, like they did last time they both played. Actually, they beat the dog shit out of them.
17-10 last time they played. Who was the quarterback?
Zach Wilson.
Okay, and is he starting now? No. Did they have Brees Hall that game?
Yes.
No, I don't think they did actually.
Yep.
What week did they play?
5.
Yeah, they had Brees Hall because he didn't get hurt till the middle of the season.
He got hurt again.
He had 18 carries, 97 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a week before he got hurt.
Yeah, so
and Skylar Thompson also played that game.
Well, yeah, because that was a game. That was a game Tua didn't play.
Yeah.
So if Skylar Thompson can muster up between 10 and 17 points, they're gonna win the game because the Jets gonna kick 3 field goals.
Give me the Jets here, plus a 1.
Brees Hall was top receiver and rusher.
I think the Jets are gonna end Miami's season on Sunday. Everyone and their mom's gonna be on the Dolphins too. So
I see it as a pick 'em, by the way.
Yeah, it is a pick 'em.
Shit.
If Tua was playing, it probably wouldn't be one. But
give me. Where are you seeing it to pick 'em at?
ESPN, MyBookie, and on.
I think Bovada has it as a pick 'em too.
Yeah.
PointsBet got it as a plus 1. Anyways, so you guys are on Miami. I'm on the Jets. I'll take it at a pick too.
And definitely take that under.
73 and sunny in Miami.
Because of Miami, Pittsburgh, Seattle, one of those 3 teams is losing for sure. Probably 2 out of 3 are losing to teams that have no business beating them. I can almost guarantee it.
What do you think over under 38 and a half? That's low.
I would probably lean the under just because all the Jets games I feel like go under.
Yeah.
But
what are Jets
under.
I think it also depends. I mean, this line at pick probably tells me Skylar Thompson's playing, which I think also benefits the Jets.
Jets are. Oh, why is this only showing me? Oh, over under 5 and 11. Under 11 over 5 times.
Yeah. So definitely, I lean the under there. But who knows, man? Skylar Thompson could throw a couple of pick sixes. One thing about Teddy Bridgewater is he's not going to try to force anything, so he's not going to turn it over, which would probably benefit the Dolphins. But if he's not playing, definitely lean the Jets there. All right.
Mike White, a turnover machine, too.
Who? Mike White?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He definitely is. He tries to force too much. All right. Let's move on to Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh will be hosting the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland comes into this game, they're eliminated 7-9 straight up, 8-8 against the spread, 7-8-1 to the over. Pittsburgh's 8-8 straight up, 9-6-1 against the spread, 6-10 to the over. Pittsburgh currently laying 2.5. The total's at 40. What do you think about this one?
Give me Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh 5-1 in their last 6 games.
The way that defense is playing, the offense is scoring just enough and scoring because they know the defense is not giving up more than, I'll say, 17 or 20 points a game.
Cleveland has been good in their last 6 too, though, 4-2.
Yeah, but Deshaun's been looking terrible, and this is going to be the best defense he's played since he came back.
Yeah. Browns are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 matchups. But keep in mind, dude, teams that need to win versus teams out of the playoffs are 57-95, 37% against the spread since 2000. I'm telling you, dude.
The last 2 weeks, though, right?
Yeah, the last 2
Yeah,
weeks.
but that's against the spread. Is that winning and losing included in that too, or just it was against the spread?
This game's at 2.5, so if they don't cover, they're likely gonna lose. I'm not saying they are, but they're likely going to lose.
Yeah, they should definitely win by.
I'm telling you right now, of Miami, Pittsburgh, Seattle, 2 of these teams are losing this weekend.
Yeah, Seattle's losing probably because they've been playing like complete dog shit. And Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season, so
He hasn't, and he's good against the Browns.
and yeah, he owns the Browns, so I'll put my money on Mike Tomlin against the Browns. Outside of that playoff game a couple years ago.
I'm gonna go with Cleveland covering this game here.
Yeah, they can cover, but I don't think they win.
Pittsburgh offense 20th passing, 10th rushing. Cleveland's defense has been much improved. They're 13th against the pass, 29th against the rush, but I mean, dude, they were 32nd against the rush for pretty much majority of the first half of the year.
Yeah, but the Steelers are a run team and they cannot stop the run.
I mean, Cleveland hasn't given up a ton of rush yards in the last few games.
Have they faced running teams? And when they faced
Washington,
they faced Washington, the Saints, which was
Baltimore,
fucking blizzard.
Yeah, the Saints, the Baltimore didn't have Lamar, so that's definitely going to affect their run game.
Cincinnati, they lost 23-10. Houston, they won.
Yeah, don't throw Houston is the worst team in football.
Yeah, but they won that game like fucking. They shouldn't have won that game, to be honest. They won that game on all defensive and special teams touchdowns. But I mean, it's not like Pittsburgh's out here fucking dominating teams.
They're not, but the Browns, they've been skating by, and Pittsburgh has been actually beating quality opponents.
Yeah, but skating by on those quality opponents.
Pittsburgh's basically beat the same teams. They
3 points on Vegas.
Yeah, they beat Baltimore without Lamar once. They lost to him without Lamar once. They beat the dog shit Raiders in that fucking blizzard game.
But we all know the Raiders ain't as trash as a record, though.
Yeah, but they were at home and it was 36 degrees. Derek Carr, it has like 0 wins in cold weather.
Derek Carr's afterthought now. We don't care about players that's riding the bench and away from their team.
They beat Carolina.
Shout out to MAGA Carr.
They beat Atlanta. I mean, dude, they beat Indianapolis. Dude, they're not beating good teams, bro.
Yeah.
So you can say what you want about you can say what you. I don't think Cleveland's a bad team. I mean, dude, they're 7-9. You know, a few of their games were like coin flip games. They go the other way. It's kind of similar to Minnesota, except they had the opposite of what Minnesota had. You know, that Jets game was a fucking miracle that they lost.
Yeah. Cleveland, if they had Deshaun that whole first half of the year,
they're probably in the playoffs right now. And Deshaun hasn't even played that great, but he's done enough in these last few weeks.
They would have beat the Jets. They would have beat the Falcons. They would have beat.
Is it in Cleveland or is it in Pittsburgh?
This is in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, give me Pittsburgh. They're not losing to Cleveland at home.
Yeah, I'm kind of with that. I don't know, by 3 points though.
Yeah, I'll do Pittsburgh. I'll do money line, but money line's probably like 180.
Money line is 155.
Yeah, not bad.
And Cleveland runs the ball against everybody. Don't matter who they play, they run the ball against them.
Yeah, they can run the ball all they want, or they'll be able to pass the ball.
Pittsburgh's got a decent rush defense.
Pittsburgh rushing the ball.
You said they 10th.
On their defense.
And the Browns are 29th against the run.
Yeah, the Browns haven't been good running the ball. I mean, Pittsburgh, they've been better running the ball, but their biggest weakness was running the ball most of the year, but they have been better. 198 rushing yards against Baltimore, 106 against the Raiders, 156 against Carolina, 65 against Baltimore, the first one. They definitely made it a statement last week rushing the football.
Yeah, give me Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm going to take Cleveland plus a 2.5. That actually might be my best bet.
Pack Cleveland the fuck up. Well, they already packed up. They're gonna be packed up even more. Put their ass in the dirt on Sunday.
All right, let's move on to this second to last game. We got the Rams at the Seahawks. Is this at Seahawks?
I think so.
Yeah, it is at Seahawks. Currently the Seahawks -6.5. Rams coming to this game 5-11 straight up, 6-9-1 against the spread, 6-10 to the over, and they're 1-6 on the road. Seattle 8-8 straight up, 7-9 against the spread, and they're 4-4 at home. The total is at 41.5. Rams coming off a 31-10 blowout against the Chargers. They got blown out, and then Seattle coming off a dominant win against the Jets at home. What do you guys think about this game?
You got a team that was playing decent football, surprising a lot of folks, and now it's like they came back to earth. I wouldn't even blame Geno. It's just the defense gives up a lot of big plays. Most of the time, putting the offense in bad spots. They looked it better last week against the Jets, but the Jets couldn't do shit on offense. So just that home field advantage ain't the same. It used to be you go to Seattle, you'll be lucky not to get blowed out.
Yep.
Now you go to Seattle, it's either going to be a close game, comes down to a field goal, maybe a touchdown. So, and then the offensive line has regressed, but that was due to rookies. Like this team has been dependent on a lot of first and second year players. And if they don't continue to rise to the occasion week after week after week, you see a big drop off. So they do got a bright future though. If they can figure out the QB position, they solved the line issues. They got two damn good corners. They probably could use another pass rusher on defense and maybe a linebacker. So like Pete Carroll, he's built a pretty decent team. He just needs a quarterback, and they'll probably be right back in the mix for division titles and be in the hunt for being will be a Super Bowl threat in the NFC going forward if they get the quarterback position figured out.
I think 6.5 is way too many points.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially because it's going to be raining in
Yeah.
Seattle. And but you got to think about it. Baker looked like normal Baker last week.
Yeah,
He didn't look like
He didn't
Baker
look like
versus
Baker against the Broncos.
No.
No, he didn't.
No.
And last week, I mean, the Chargers are just a better team offensively. Like Chargers got all their offensive weapons back.
Mm-hmm.
And Seattle, you know, this game's just too close. This too many points, dude.
Yeah, for 6.5, it's too many.
The Rams are 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 meetings against the Seahawks. The favorites 5-2 against the spread. The home team's 5-2 ATS. The under is 5-2.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I think 41.5 is too much.
Yeah, I probably go under here. What time is this game at? 4:25 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, 125 Pacific. In the rain.
Yeah, and the Rams have been running the ball pretty well lately too.
Yeah, Cam Akers is finally out the doghouse.
Yeah. And Seattle hasn't been able to stop the run for shit. Seattle 24th DVOA against the rush. Yeah, I like the Rams plus the 6.5 here. I just think it's too many points. If I lose, I lose. Whatever. I'll take the L on that one. But I just can't lay 6.5 with Seattle right now, dude. That's way too many points. That's far too many. I know the Rams offensively, they're not anything special, but the Broncos defense went into that game and they were a top 5 defense in the league. Number 1 red zone defense in the league. And fucking the Rams picked them apart, dude.
Yeah. Like I said, 6.5 is too much, even at home for them.
Yep. Like it. I like it. All right, let's move into our last game. This is the last game of the day, which is fucking stupid as shit because if Seattle loses, then this game is or I'm sorry, if Seattle wins,
This game is irrelevant.
Now then, if Seattle wins, then if Green Bay wins, they still make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But Detroit doesn't. Detroit, even if they win, they wouldn't make the playoffs. This game should have been played earlier because of that. Because Detroit could.
Yes, if Seattle wins, then they're in. And it doesn't matter who wins this game.
Seattle has a tiebreaker over the Packers.
Division tiebreak was initially used to eliminate Green Bay.
Yeah, so Seattle wins, and neither of these two. This game doesn't even matter. Why are they?
Yeah.
Hold on,
No, because then they're both 4-2. Then it would go to conference, right?
Let's see.
They'd both be 4-2 in division.
What's their conference record?
Conference Seattle right now is 5-6. Green Bay 6-5.
All right.
So
here's what we got right now. Here's what we got. Clinching scenarios. Right here.
Green Bay wins, they're in.
Seattle has to win and a Green Bay loss.
Yeah.
Detroit has to have a Seattle loss and they have to beat Green Bay.
Yeah.
Green Bay just has to win and they're in.
Yeah.
So basically this game, if Seattle wins, then this game comes down to Sunday Night Football and Detroit has nothing to play for. They can only end the Packers season.
Yeah.
So right now the Packers laying 4.5 on the road. I mean at home. Sorry, at home, laying 4.5. Both these teams are 8-8. Detroit 11-5 against the spread. Packers 8-8 against the spread. Detroit 10-6 to the over. Green Bay 8-8 on the over. Packers are 5-2 at home. Green Bay is Detroit's 3-4 on the road.
Yeah.
Currently, Packers laying 4.5. The total's 49. What do you guys think about this one?
Aaron Rodgers is hot. The Lions have been consistently one of the highest scoring teams in the league. I think it's going to be a shootout, but I also think Rodgers comes through in the clutch and wins this game for the Green Bay Packers.
Do they cover 4.5?
They can cover 4.5 because sometimes the Lions offense could completely disappear. And that Green Bay defense is playing the best it's played all season.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the wins that the Lions have had in the last, couple games, and they haven't been. I guess. Never mind. I take that back because the Packers haven't been too impressive either. Minnesota, Miami,
And the Packers,
Rams, and Chicago.
Packers should have lost that Miami game, dude.
Yeah. They had 3 interceptions from Tua, lost them that game.
Concussed. They had no business winning that game. They were not the best team on the field that day.
Let's see. We look at let's look at the scores of the Chicago game. 3 weeks difference here. Packers won 28-19. Lions won 41-10. You look at the Minnesota game. Packers win 41-17. Lions win 34-23. So it's about a wash between those two.
The thing that's concerning about backing the Packers in this spot is that the Lions have one of the best offensive lines in football. And they're able to run the ball pretty effectively. I know they didn't run the ball very well against Carolina, but that's because they threw for so much and the pass was just working that they just kept throwing the football. And they ended up losing that game. But, against the Jets, they ran for 107 yards. The Jets are one of the best rush defenses in the league. Rushed for 134 against Minnesota. They rushed for 265 yards last week, dude. So I think if they're able, and let's remember, Green Bay, not good against the rush all year. One of the worst teams against the rush. 31st against the rush, DVOA. part of the reason why I like Green Bay against Minnesota is because Minnesota can't rush the ball. They haven't been able to rush the ball all year. They're one of the worst rushing teams, you know, and so is Miami. So it's like a counter to, you know, they're just not a good matchup against Green Bay. But the Lions can run the ball. They can score the football. And now they got 2 pass rushers that are looking damn good in the last few weeks. Playing some damn good football. But their defense does concern me. I think I'm with you, Irv. I think this could be a shootout. And I think, honestly, this could come down to the last possession.
Mm-hmm.
And a field goal could separate this game, which is why I like Detroit plus the 4.5 points.
Yeah.
If this was 3, oh my God, I'd fucking hammer the shit out of Green Bay. But so would everybody else, which is why this line is 4.5. I just think 4.5 is too much because even if Seattle does win, I don't think this line will definitely move. So like I wouldn't bet this line right now. Because if Seattle wins, this line's going to go up to like 6.5. Because then Detroit has nothing to play for, right? But they could still play to end the Packers season. But the general betting market is going to say, well, I'm going to take Green Bay because Detroit has nothing to play for now. And Green Bay does.
Yeah, but Detroit keeping the Packers out is huge for them.
You know, their head coach, Dan Campbell, you know, those guys always play hard. They played hard all of last year, and they played meaningless games since October of last year. You know what I mean? And they played hard.
Yeah,
they're one of the best teams
even
against
at
the
8-9 this year, it's going to be a winning season for them.
Oh, for sure. Their win total was what, 5.5?
Yeah.
I mean, they surpassed expectations. You know what I mean? It's a tone-setting game to head into next season too.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't play this right now because of the fact that if Seattle wins, I think this number goes up. But on the flip side, Seattle loses, I bet this number comes down. Which is interesting. So if you think Seattle's going to win, I would wait to bet this. If you think Seattle's going to lose, yeah, that might be a great idea, dude. At halftime or right before the game ends, if Seattle's losing. It's just the way the market works, man.
What time's that Rams Seahawks game? 10?
125.
Oh, okay.
Right before.
Yeah. Okay.
So, who do you guys like in this game?
I think you're right on it. 4.5 is just too much. So I'm gonna go Detroit here.
Detroit cover. I'll do the Packers winning outright.
Let's go, y'all.
All right, let's get some best bets. Or what do you got?
I'm gonna do the under 38 for the Jets and the
That's 42, isn't it?
Dolphins.
Is it 42.5 or 38?
38.5.
38.5.
All right.
And then I'm gonna do give me what other game did we go over?
A lot of them.
Oh, give me the Rams plus 6.5.
I like that Rams plus 6.5. Also gonna go with that one, and I'm gonna go Dolphins. Right now, money line is sitting at minus 115.
All right. I'm going Tennessee plus 6.5. And then I was going to go Rams 6.5 because I like that one too. But since you guys both took it, I'm going to go Cleveland plus 2.5.
That could be our one that we always own.
Did we hit that one last week? Because I know we were all on one last week.
Who was we all on last week?
Let's see here. Oh no, we didn't. Oh yeah, we were. Well, me and you were on Green Bay minus 3. That one hit. Ben wasn't on that one. All right, so Irv under 38.5. Jets, Miami, LA Rams plus 6.5. Ben, Rams plus 6.5. Miami money line minus 115.
Yep.
I'm going Tennessee plus 6.5 and Cleveland plus 2.5.
There we go.
Nice. Let's get some fucking winners. Thank you everybody for tapping in with us. Make sure to go to devour.com or download the Devour app straight to your mobile device. Use promo code TAPROOM for $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more. That's craft beer delivered straight to your front door. You don't even have to leave your seat. Enjoy week 18, the final week. Prayers up for DeMar Hamlin.
Yep.
And then Irv and I will be back tomorrow night to we'll be talking the college football national championship between the TCU Horned Frogs and the Georgia Bulldogs. We'll also be talking a little bit of transfer portal news and stuff too. So definitely going to want to tap into that. Very much looking forward to that. I'm very sad the college football season is coming to an end, but excited for the national championship. And then after that, it's all college basketball, baby. Yes, let's go.
Woo.
Hey, that's the best sport, Ben. For Swerve and Irvin Washington, Mr. Big Ball and Ben Larson, I'm Jordan Stacks on Stacks on Stacks, lads. We'll catch y'all later. Thanks for hanging out with us. Peace.